Hi everyone! Welcome to my video series VTuber on a Budget. I'm putting this series together at the request of a few other members of the VTubing community, as we frequently find ourselves being asked, how we started out as a VTuber, being people who are interested in the technology, or people who are unsure if this type of streaming or content creation might be right for them. So this series is being recorded as short videos. If you're catching this video on YouTube, there'll be a link to the video playlist down below. If you found it elsewhere, then my links are right above me right now. Oh, and a quick heads up, I do use a voice changer. It's a part of my character, and I have some other reasons for it, but I'll try to make sure the voice is as clear as possible. And if it does bother you, or if you're needing the extra help, there will be captions in the YouTube video feed. While there are many videos out there that cover specific topics, or even provide general guidance about VTubing and streaming in general, the aim of this particular series is to focus on providing a viable stream or content creation product for as close to free as possible. With that said, let's get started. So this video will be covering the basic goal of this series and define some of the terms that we'll be using within the series itself. First off, why do this series? Well, the reason to do this series is simple. Myself and other streamers I know get asked at times questions like, well, how do I do that? Or it must be hard getting your model up there. Or other questions of that nature. So the series has two primary goals. First off, I'd like to be able to walk you through figuring out what the options are currently, covering setup of some of the various components, cover some of the more important aspects of this type of content creation, and above all, do all of this for less than $500 for a brand new setup. And I also, the second reason, is to explain at a very basic level some of the technologies involved so that streamers can direct people who ask, well, how do I do that? To a short video that covers that specific topic. It should also be mentioned that most of these topics and concepts are specifically aimed at being able to produce a product in line, as it were, as in a source, be it a game, video, art, or whatever, is being captured live, and the content creator avatar is shown, audio is being mixed in, and even in some cases live stream responses are input, and then this is output to a live stream or a video complete, with no editing needed after the fact. Should editing after the fact be the desirable outcome, a less powerful system could be used, though it will take longer to produce the final product. It would still definitely be viable. So you may have noticed during the introduction that I mentioned the cost. Well, nothing is free. The idea behind this series is that if you're capable of creating content that you wish to stream, this is intended to allow you to stream with a computer you should already have. While there might be some costs involved, the aim is to look at finding the best way to meet the goals of becoming a VTuber without needing to spend a lot of money. Some of the art alone for a VTuber setup in the indie VTuber space, which is what I and most of my friends are, can cost upwards of $2,500 US per commission. And so right now I can hear some of you asking, wait, this is expensive? Yeah, it isn't. Not really. So let's just sort of take a simple example here of what I'm sort of talking about. Let's look at the idea of two people who need to get to work. The first one has a nice expensive sports car, it's comfortable, it's easy to drive, and it gets them to their private parking space at the office, all nice and comfy-like. The other takes a bus and then a train and then drags themselves into their late shift retail job just in time to clock in. Both have arrived at work, so the goal of getting to work has been met. Alright, that said, content creation is different than most types of jobs. Just because you don't have the backing of a large corporate team or thousands of dollars spent just setting up your microphone doesn't mean that you can't get started and build yourself up to a point where you can do all that stuff later. And VTubing, unlike other forms of streaming, can actually even be easier to get into than most forms of streaming. So what is this VTubing thing anyway? All right, If you're watching this video, I assume you already know a bunch of this basic stuff. But just in case you just crawled out of the depths of some Stygian abyss, I figured it wouldn't hurt to cover the important bits here. Now, these terms are broad, and some contest these definitions. Like many in life, there's divisions that exist out there. So I'm going to try and represent things as clearly and without malicious intent as I can, so if I say something you don't like in these terms, I apologize. You can always drop a comment down below, and unless you're rude about it, I'll probably even pin it for others to be able to get clarification as to what the terms may also mean. So let's define a few terms here. A live streamer or YouTuber, someone who creates content using their actual face. A VTuber, someone who creates content utilizing an avatar to represent the streamer. Like, you know, this here. A no-cam streamer, someone who creates content using no representations for themselves. A model or avatar. This is a representation of the creator that's used to represent themselves to their audience. A PNG tuber. It's a mostly static avatar. A 2D streamer or 2D VTuber. This is someone who uses a 2D avatar. And a 3D streamer or 3D VTuber. This is someone who uses a 3D avatar, like this avatar right here. So that said, terms change, language evolves, especially English. So this video may require adjustment in a little while to cover the new terms that may crop up. May be important in such a video series as this in the future. So how will this work? Or in other words, what will we be doing during this series? Well, we'll have a fairly simple process here. I have a virtual machine set up that I will use to create a full VTuber streaming or recording setup. This machine will be configured to create the full end product content as originally described. I've shown the specifications for a brand new $200 system that I found online in January 2023 on the left. And on the right, I'm listing the specifications for a virtual machine that I'll be using to set this entire system up. To summarize these for those listening and not watching, it's possible to get a basic system at this time for $200 that happens to be a Windows computer with a 4-core 1.1 GHz processor, Intel UHD graphics, 128 GB of hard drive space, and 8 GB of RAM. So the virtual machine we'll be using is a Windows machine with 64 GB of hard drive space, 8 GB of RAM, with only 2 cores available, as my systems happen to be far more powerful than the 1.1 GHz, and I don't know how to set the things so that they only go that speed. So to wrap all this up, at the end of this video we have our system purchased, and that leaves us with $300 to complete the entire process. In the next video, we'll actually delve into the whole VTubing process, starting with choosing what our model type is going to be. So thank you for watching, and if you're catching this anywhere that this is relevant, please like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell, smash the dingly bit, whatever it might be. And I'll catch us all next time. Bye!